But I'm more curious about what you said right after that. There are many tools in the American toolbox to advance foreign policy interests. As you know, one of those tools is for America to use her prestige to speak out on behalf of human rights, racial tolerance, political accountability, and free speech. As you well know, Mr. President, those issues are up for grabs in Malaysia right now, and they're probably best symbolized by the precarious legal position of Anwar Ibrahim, the opposition political leader in this country. Former Vice President Al Gore has taken up his cause, as has Human Rights Watch and other international lawyers interested in human rights. Can you explain, sir, why you said nothing about these issues here in Malaysia, why you will not meet with Mr. Ibrahim, and how it's possible for the United States government to advance these interests of political reform when it won't use the non-military tools in the toolbox you described in Seoul? And Mr. Prime Minister, have you made any commitments to the United States government about your efforts in the future to address the issue of political reform here in Malaysia? Thank you.
Well, first of all, Major, I think it's important to note that there is not a meeting I have around the world where issues of freedom of the press, human rights, civil liberties aren't prominent on the agenda. And that includes my meeting with Prime Minister Najib. And I think when you say that these issues are all up for grabs in Malaysia, I think that implies a judgment about what's happening here in Malaysia that may not fully reflect the progress that's been made by Prime Minister Najib, but also the recognition, I think, by the Malaysian government that there's more work that needs to be done. The fact that I haven't met with Mr. Anwar in and of itself is not indicative of our lack of concern, given the fact that there are a lot of people I don't meet with, and opposition leaders that I don't meet with, and that doesn't mean that I'm not concerned about them. But what I have shared with the Prime Minister is the core belief that societies that respect rule of law, that respect freedom of speech, that respect the right of opposition to oppose even when it drives you crazy, even when it's inconvenient, the respect for freedom of assembly, the respect for people of different races and different faiths and different political philosophies, that those values are at the core of who the U.S. is, but also, I think, are a pretty good gauge of whether a society is going to be successful in the 21st century or not. And I think the Prime Minister is the first to acknowledge that Malaysia's still got some work to do, just like the United States, by the way, has some work to do on these issues. Human Rights Watch probably has a list of things they think we should be doing as a government. And I am going to be constantly committed to making sure that these issues get raised in a constructive way. And Prime Minister Najib came in as a reformer and one who's committed to it. And I'm going to continue to encourage him as a friend and a partner to make sure that we're making progress on that front.